Hey guys, John here from Bring the SEO. Today I'm going to be answering the question, once and for all, is site speed a ranking factor? Now before I get into this and tell you why, I think all of these conversations around site speed, why it's a ranking factor, part of the core web vitals. I'm going to address all of the angry consultants in the room right now saying, what the f are you talking about, John? Everybody knows that site speed is a ranking factor. Well, I can tell you that it's not, and I'm going to show you some real life examples. All right, now let's take a quick look at a few examples of websites that are performing really well in search that have got shitty page speeds. Now, I've prepared a couple of searches here in advance. I haven't done this with any intention aside from trying to demonstrate my point. Okay, you could repeat this test and find a lot of sites with great page speed score. That's not what we're looking for. I'm just trying to show you examples of sites that that fail core web vitals, because I'm only mentioning that because that's considered page speed is considered part of that. But most importantly, page speed, right? Asking the question, do you have to have really good page speed in order to rank in Google? Well, the answer to that is no. So let's take a look at a couple. First one I'm searching for, and I'm using google.com.au because I'm based in Australia. The first one I'm going to search for here is Eye Specialist Adelaide. These guys are number one. So, okay, that loaded pretty damn quick. Okay, that's fine. They're not going to win any design awards here, but in any case, let's take a look at what they get in... Oh, I've actually already run this one. So this is what they scored. 37 for mobile. That's pretty ordinary. I think they do a little bit better for desktop. They get 68. But in any case, that's pretty average, right? We can see right away. 68 for desktop is pretty average. 37, you would consider 37 out of 100 for mobile speed is pretty awful. Okay, let's try another one here. Let's try, I don't know. Let's try Dentist Central Coast. This is where I live. Let's go down beneath the ads and the map pack, and we'll go to Dentist Central Coast. I've got no idea what to expect here. I did look at this one a couple of days ago in preparation, thinking about what video to record here and what subject I wanted to cover. That site seemed to load pretty fast. I wouldn't have any problems with this one at all. Okay, nice and clean. Site does its job using stock photos, which is, I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. In any case, let's go back to the homepage. We'll grab the URL and we'll shove it into PageSpeed Insights in order to see what it says. I've got no idea what to expect here, but my point is this, guys, and I'm sure you'll be thinking, well, hang on a minute, I could bring up a million sites too where the page speed score is perfect. It's 99 or 100. That's not my point. My point here is to demonstrate and show you that even with crappy page speed scores using these tools, you can still rank well in Google and get a shitload of organic traffic. Okay, well, this is a perfect example. This site, number one in Google, page speed score on mobile of 16. Look, what does it do on desktop? Okay, so it's a little bit better on desktop. I'd have to check on my mobile to see if it's the same. In fact, I'm going to, just to see where it is on Google and to see if that is true. Central Coast Dental. Okay, so it's exactly the same. Right, you can pause the video if you want. You can check that. Central Coast Dental, it's right there. So even on mobile with a page speed score of 16, let's not do them any favors, they're number one in Google, right? And this is my point here, guys. And I'm not saying, right, and I just want to make a quick note here. This is where it's really important that you don't focus all of your efforts on technical SEO and forget about what's actually important to the client. Okay, because we can, and I've been guilty of this myself, you can spend an enormous amount of time working your way through checklists and marking things off and focusing all of your energy and effort and time and resources and the client's budget around the micro instead of the macro. Okay, what's the client actually trying to achieve here? And this, this comes back to my point, and that's not to say, right? That's not to say that you should neglect or ignore a slow loading website. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying there needs to be a balance, guys, because you can spend all of your time fussing over the technical stuff and forgetting about what's important for the client. So of course we want a fast loading website. Of course we want a site that loads quickly. But this is not just about, this is not exclusive to SEO. And I'm going to round out this video towards the end and share with you some thoughts on this. But this is a great example of a site that's got terrible page speed score, but is first in Google. They're actually first. Right, let's try one more this time. I'm going to try debt collection agencies. I didn't put in a location here. Actually, I better put in a location. Let's just have a look here. This one is at random. Let's try Sydney. So let's scroll past the usual nonsense and let's go to Marshall Freeman. Okay, these guys are a pretty well-known brand. That site loaded pretty fast. Certainly no delays there. I would expect these guys to be doing quite well because they're a very reputable brand here in Australia. Let's see how they go. With any luck, they'll do well, which is fantastic. What's interesting to note here is how they failed Core Web Vitals assessment, according to this tool. And this is the thing, this brings me back to my point. You can't invest all of your time and effort looking at, SEO software, because this piece of software might say, hey, everything's peachy, and then you bring up something else and it says, this thing's on fire. And I've seen these discussions all around the place, right? Oh, I pulled up SEMrush and it says we've got 90% toxic link profile. What do we do? And you start taking actions around things that don't actually matter. Well, wow. Okay, so for mobile, these guys get 35. 35 out of 100. That's pretty average. Desktop, they do a little bit better. But, yeah, 35 on mobile. And let's face it, most of their traffic's probably going to be coming from mobile. And just for shits and giggles, let's do the same search again, guys. Let's have a look here. Debt collection agency. What did I search for? Debt collection agency Sydney. All right, so I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to repeat the search on my mobile and see where it is. Okay, so I've just repeated the same search on my mobile in google.com.au. I've scrolled beneath the ads, beneath the map pack, and guess what? Bingo. Marshall Freeman, debt collection and recovery services in Sydney, New South Wales, #1. Right, I don't know if you want to pause the video. You probably can't see it anyway. You'll have to take my word for it, or depending upon where you are in the world and, when you watch this video, you'll be able to see the same thing. They're #1 in Google. Now, I could sit here and I could do this all day long and show you sites where they've got page speed of, I've seen sites as bad as low as 8 out of 100 that are ranking #1 and are getting, 10,000 organics a month. Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned a few things. Firstly, a fast website doesn't mean for a profitable website. In fact, one comes to mind where the client was making over $250,000 a month, yet every tool that we checked online said he had a terrible page speed score. The second thing, and I've seen this a lot, you can have a really shit website that gets a perfect page speed score using tools like GT metrics or page speed insights. What good is that? What are you going to do? Go to the client and say, hey, look at all of these green ticks we've got. And the client's sitting there wondering, well, hang on a minute, why isn't the phone ringing? And obviously, a site with less than ideal page speed can and will perform in search. Now, for those of you saying, oh, but John, I tried this search and, I tried this really competitive search and they've got a perfect page speed score. Of course, I'm not saying that page speed doesn't matter. My point here is to simply tell you that you don't have to waste 2 or 3 months of a client's budget, moving hosts and implementing all of these tools and services and software and everything else in order to just satisfy, a green tick in a piece of software that you're paying $14 a month for. So what's the final takeaway? There are 2 points that I want to share here because I know I've probably upset a lot of people with the things that I've said in this video. The first one is this: page speed absolutely matters, but it's not exclusive to SEO. And this is where I think I become frustrated when I hear people talking about page speed only matters in order for you to be able to rank in Google. That's nonsense. This has less to do with SEO than you think and more to do with the following 2 things. 1, user experience. Of course, nobody wants to sit there waiting for 5 minutes for a site to load. That's not going to be useful or helpful for anyone. So, and this is where a bit of common sense comes into play. Go to the website. How long does it take to load? Try it on a couple of different devices. Ask friends and family. Ask in a Facebook group, hey guys, does this site load quickly for you? My point is, page speed should be about user experience primarily, okay? Forget about software, start thinking about users. So that's the first thing. The second thing is conversion rate optimization. Okay, now I know when I start talking about this, a lot of SEO consultants get really upset and angry. Hang on a minute, they're not paying me to do conversion rate optimization. Well, if you're not actually helping your customers convert those web visitors, if you're not helping your clients convert those web visitors into customers, you're only doing half the job. So that's the way in which, I've been saying this for a long time now. You've got to start running your SEO campaigns the same way you do as PPC, okay? You don't sit down at the end of the month with a client and say, well, we spent $30,000 on ads this month. Who cares about ROAS? Because all of our ads were on the first page of Google. That's mental. So conversion rate optimization. We care about page speed because we want the site to load. We want people to be able to find what they're looking for and be able to say, blue widgets. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Click, 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 purchase. Okay, so that's it from me. This one's been a little bit angry because I've seen 2 conversations this morning around people arguing about page speed and as to whether or not it's actually a ranking signal in Google. And even if it is, okay, this comes back to just common sense. Okay, like I said, nobody wants to sit there. I know I don't, and I'm sure you don't either. I don't want to sit there for 30 seconds waiting for a site to load. But at the same time, I'm not going to blow 2 or 3 months worth of budget, mucking about, worrying about getting a perfect page speed score and making that a priority over helping my clients actually sell. All right, that's it for me. I know I've upset a whole bunch of people, so be sure to leave an angry comment below. Send me an abusive message, do whatever you like. But whatever you do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more, head over to bringtheseo.com. We provide business development training for SEO consultants wanting to improve their processes, increase profits, and scale to $100,000 a month or more without all the stress and overwhelm.